And welcome. My name is Jason Allen Jankowski, Forex analyst and trader. This broadcast is a brief introduction to my proprietary trading system, the ProTrader's Toolbox, and this is for running on the Tradestation analysis platform. I want to get right to work, and let's do this. One quick thing, I just want to remind everybody that trading in foreign currencies involves a substantial risk of loss. It may not be suitable for everyone at all points in time, so carefully consider if trading is right for you in light of your personal tolerance for risk and your financial background. Everything we talk about in here today is my personal opinion, and it's subject to change at any time. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, some people listening may never have worked with me before, may not know exactly what it is that I do and how I do it. I want to take just 1 minute, introduce myself to you. I'm a self-taught, self-educated trader. I started as a customer, just like you guys, years ago, 1986. I became full-time in this business shortly thereafter, and now this is all I do, is trade my own accounts, and I use my proprietary trade method called the ProTrader's Toolbox, and that developed over years and years and years of learning this business from the inside out, and I believe that what I have for you will give you a significant, repeatable edge, and it's based on background of huge amount of information and study that I had to go through to get where I'm at today, and I know that you are doing the same thing. You don't have to do that. You can leverage my experience into your own if you choose to, and the Toolbox is a great way to start that process. So I'm going to go ahead and get right to work, and let's do this. What is the Toolbox? It's a library of buy and sell signals you install into the TradeStation analysis software. The software is preloaded with proprietary algorithm formulas that will create buy or sell signals for the Forex trader. The buy and sell signals are designed to function best on the top 5 cash Forex major pairs. So against the dollar, we'd be looking at pounds, euro, yen, Swiss, and Canadian dollar. One thing I want to remind you, though, that although the signals can be used with any cash currency, on TradeStation you have multiple pairs you can trade. The Toolbox is available for all of that. However, it's best suited on the top 5 pairs. So you can use it on any of the currency pairs. You can use it on any futures contract or an equity symbol if you choose to. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But it's recommended that less experienced traders become thoroughly familiar with the signals the Toolbox generates before applying it to other markets. And I do regular training at no cost to you. Just go to my website and sign up for the next broadcast I'll be doing on Toolbox training, and you can ask all the questions that you want. What are the signals? Very simple, very easy to understand. There are 2 kinds of trend buy signals or trend sell signals. In other words, if you want to trade with the trend, a trend buy or sell, and a strong trend buy or sell. And there are 3 kinds of reversal signals: a hook reversal, exponential reversal, and an exhaustion reversal. The Toolbox basically looks for places where the market has a potential to reverse, and it looks for places that are great places to go with the prevailing trend. The exhaustion reversal is the rarest signal that you'll get, and when you have an exhaustion reversal, it is a slam dunk in my opinion. A lot of money to be made, so you want to watch for those. Although the signals are very simple and easy to understand, they also have a negation feature, and that helps to avoid false signals. So every system will sometimes generate an early signal or something that's just dead wrong. You know, sometimes you don't know that till after the market's made significant move against you. And in this case, if that were to begin to happen, there are clues that we look for, and we put that on the screen and say, look, this signal really isn't any good, so you might want to consider cutting your loss. That's active right on the first bar. Right after the first bar is when it can start to function. Here are the signals: trend buy, strong trend buy, and the 3 reversals are color coordinated. A small t is either a trend buy or sell. Red, of course, is sell. Green is buy. Exhaustion, hook reversal, exponential, pretty self-explanatory there. The negations are a color change. If you see the same signal that's blue, flat blue across the screen, that means that the previous signal is negated. Also, this Toolbox will produce suggested stops if you're interested in using those. So let's have a look at a couple of charts, and I'm going to start right now with putting up a pound daily chart. Now, the pound daily chart, the reason I'm using this one to start with, and by the way, on TradeStation, if you're not familiar with it, you can use a white or a black background on any of these charts. I happen to use white because I like white. You can use black if you want. As you can see, starting over in April, we've got some trend sell signals, and then a blue down here that shows a negation. You can see it just right there, right by where these averages are. You'll notice that the strong trend sells gave you just a little bit of a lead if you wanted it. It didn't work for very long, but that's the benefit of the toolbox. It will give you a lead. What you do with that lead is up to you. Now, there are some really good signals from time to time. That's why I suggest that you use all the signals when you can. If we go over here to right about June, there's an X reversal that was negated on the next bar. That was an early sell, but then the X reversal came on late in June, about 3 days later. Look at that lead. Of course, you didn't quite get an opportunity to make a ton of money on that until later in the year, but you did have an opportunity if you wanted it. Now, you notice right above the X is a red dot, and below some of the other signals, you can see the green dot. Those are your suggested stop areas. So when the signal is active, you take the trade, put your stop where it's suggested, and I'm going to show you another chart right now. In fact, here, if I just could do this real quick. If you look here, April, May, right here, this H reversal at the bottom right here, that called the absolute bottom for months into this year. Great trade, and we got some of that for those guys that are regular listeners and follower of the work I do. But as you can see, the signals don't work 100% of the time, and they're not supposed to. They're supposed to give you clues. What you do with them is up to you, and that's why the stops are suggested where they are. I want to put up the Euro 60-minute chart, and I think this one is really good for showing you the value of why you want to use the stops where they are, because the whole goal of the toolbox is to give you a lead that allows you to do something with the marketplace. And sometimes volatility on a short time frame can whipsaw around, but if you use the suggested stops, most of the time you'll get some kind of a lead. So if your money management rules are there, you can reduce your risk or, in some cases, scratch or even take a small gain. So we start on the left side of the screen here at 11 o'clock on 12/31, this H reversal here. Now you'll notice between there and the 9th, that reversal was good for several handles, about 6 or 8 handles. And look at where the stop is. The stop is above there. Notice that it came down, it came right up to that area again, and then finally fell. So if you were looking for a short, you were willing to wait for it, placing the stop at the suggested level would have given you a little bit of extra time to determine what you wanted to do. Notice also on the trend buys underneath there, just after the H reversal, some of these gave you a little bit of a lead, some of them didn't, and until they were negated, which didn't happen until about the 5th, you got a couple of bounces in here you could have done something with. So the suggested stops gave you an opportunity to try to get position on the long side, but once the trade was no good, the negation signal came on right here. You can see that blue T right there, way before the stops were in play, giving you an opportunity to liquidate. Same is true down here at the H reversal at the very bottom on the 7th of January. You can see on the 60-minute chart, it gave you a reversal, and then it negated it, but it never got into the stop. So what I tell people the negation's for, that's a caution flag. You don't have to use it. You can wait for the suggested stop. But in most cases, if you see clusters happening and negations happening, you're going to get those way before you get into the stop. So it's your call. You know, it's up to you to determine how you want to use the negation and factor in the stops. But I like this chart because it kind of helps you see where putting the trade on, using the suggested stops, gives you a good potential to at least reduce your risk before we find out what the market really does. I want to show you something that's really cool on TradeStation. It's called the radar screen. And this radar screen, this is the default one, and the radar screen allows you to do some really neat stuff with the toolbox. First of all, this one has this radar screen has 2 charts on it and 2 radar screens. The first one is PPT Signal 1, Pro Traders Toolbox Signal 1. This covers the closed bar for the last bar. In other words, when you have your pair up here, whichever pair you highlight and click on, it's going to give you a screen down here, and you can customize this chart, you know, as you want. But it'll tell you when there is a signal active. So if you're watching, you put over here in your descriptions, you're watching 10 different pairs, you don't have to have the screen up to see the signal. It'll show up over here in the PTT Plot Signals 1 and Plot Signals 2. the interesting thing about the radar in TradeStation is that it has another feature which we call the multi-time frame or multi-frequency, and that one is, I find the most helpful. And let me go ahead and put that up for you. And what the multi-frequency system does, or the multi-frequency radar screen, what it does is this. You pick one pair. Let's go ahead and have a look at it. And let's say it's Euro USD. Now you'll notice the interval is listed 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute. Okay. In other words, every operating time frame you can choose, and if a signal's active, it'll show in that same radar screen. So where that can be helpful is, let's suppose in this case the euro doesn't really have anything active on it, but when it's active, here's what you'll see. You'll see maybe you're going to get a sell signal on the 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. Let's say those signals start coming in and they start staying in, and then on the current bar, the latest bar shows, then the current bar shows another signal on like the 30-minute. You're beginning to get an idea that maybe the market is due for a change in price direction or a resumption of trend by having multiple time frames show up with the same signals. And I discussed that in my latest book, Time Compression Trading. So using the toolbox with multiple time frames is a great clue, and the TradeStation product allows you to do that. Last, I want to show you GE. This is an equity symbol. And GE, the reason I want to show you this is because GE at the very bottom had an exhaustion reversal and when the market just crashed in 09, it had an exhaustion reversal. This down move here, there were opportunities the market was trying to find bottoms, and also gave you some trend sells if you wanted to be a short seller GE. But when it hit the absolute bottom, and no one knew where this bottom was going to be, was GE going to go out of business, whatever, the toolbox called the absolute low. If you would have had the conviction and courage to buy GE when you saw that E exhaustion reversal, you would have bought the low for GE. Now that exhaustion reversal is rare. You don't see it a lot. But when you do see it, it's a highly valuable signal. You can set up the alarms in your toolbox use as well, and you can set it up so it'll let you know when there's E reversals available. Great clues. Last, I want to show you a futures contract, and this is what do we have here? This is mini Dow futures. Let's go ahead and put that up real quick. And there's no stops on the futures. We're going to recalculate the stops at a later date. We'll make that an update for you. But it does give you the signals. And as you can see on this particular time frame, there are lots of good quality signals. When they're early, it lets you know. But there are really good quality signals, as you can see. Good trend buys, good trend sells. The toolbox actually is very accurate on indices for some reason. That's great. We love that. My program and I, we're going to do more work on that to fine-tune it. But for right now, if you want to use it, if you're a futures trader and you want to use the toolbox on futures, you can go ahead and overlay it if you like. But it seems to be very helpful when using indices. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just show you a couple more things real quick. Let's do this. There we go. And this goes to here. Here's how you get the toolbox. You can either contact me directly or go directly to codefortraders.com, www.codefortraders.com. Look in the TradeStation code indicator section. It's $5.95, payments via PayPal. A little bit of stuff you'll need to do, but we can get you set up usually within just about a few hours if you want. And here's my contact information. I want you to consider me a friend in the business. I do a lot of regular free training. Come to my website. Here it is right here, theliononline.com. And you can have a look when I've got free training available, educational training webinars. Most of them are free, and I do regular training on the toolbox anyway. So love to have you as a customer. Feel free to contact me directly, and we'll get you set up with your personal copy of the Pro Traders Toolbox for TradeStation. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.